So hi, I'm Sara Mazzilli. I'm an assistant professor in the section of computational biomedicine over on the medical school. So maybe one of the more junior folks on the call today. And I'm going to be talking about work that we're doing with Johnson & Johnson. And really this is work pioneered by Avi Spira, my previous mentor as a postdoc in his group, where I joined as an assistant professor in the section about 2 years ago. So if you go to the next slide. So I took maybe Rana's advice a little bit literally here and wanted to tell you about kind of our story. Our story is maybe a little bit different than some of the other stories you're hearing today, which are more driven by ideas that happened in the lab that led to engaging with industry. And so our group has been engaging in thinking about biomarkers for early detection of lung cancer. However, many years ago, back in 2013, Avi engaged Johnson & Johnson to start thinking about this as well. And over the last several years and up until a couple of years ago, they initiated a big partnership with Boston University. And so I'm one of the faculty that's leading some of those initiatives within that partnership. And so our group has been kind of not just thinking about what we could do to engage industry, but working closely with industry to utilize our skills and ideas to make a difference in lung cancer early detection and intervention. And so why is this important to us and what are we getting out of it? And what are some of the exciting things, as well as I'll talk about some of the challenges. And so the exciting part is this opportunity. And so our group has great funding that allows us to kind of expand who we can work with and how big of a program we can build around this idea. And importantly, it helps us develop and generate data that helps us go on to get other companion funding as well as new funding in this space where we can use that kind of industry-based funding to do these exciting experiments. I acquire novel technologies, utilize technologies that are existing. And so how is this helping me as an early career researcher? And so as I mentioned in my second year on faculty, this is an exciting opportunity for me that I was fortunate to be part of as part of Avi's group as a postdoc. But it's really launching my career and enabling me to get these early grants as well as set up my lab. But really our big goal in my lab is to how we can help patients. So if you go to the next slide, how can we do this and how does that, what are some of the challenges to get there? And so coming up as a postdoc, I focused mostly on federal funding and foundation funding. However, this jump into working with industry was quite a bit different. And so some of the challenges that have been difficult as a junior PI are all the legal obligations. I feel like I'm becoming a bit of a contract attorney as I've moved through my early years on faculty. And that's been hard. And I certainly didn't know a lot of the language there, but I'm certainly becoming not quite knowledgeable in IP and data transfer requirements. I think some of the other big challenges are the timelines of working with an industry partner. NCI or the NIH, we're often have a year in between each progress report that we need to make progress, but working with an industry partner, one of the challenges is they want to see progress almost on a daily basis, but certainly a monthly basis with a lot of check-ins and understanding where we're making progress on our deliverable. And I think the last biggest challenge that we have is helping our collaborators to understand this. So many of our collaborators have also been primarily funded by NIH over the many years, and now they're working with an industry partner, and it's just a little bit different. And so we're kind of working with our collaborators as we learn about each of these various different challenges. And so if you go to the next slide, although the challenges definitely push us to our limits some days, I think some of the exciting things for me as a junior faculty member is what it's brought for my group. And so I've been able to build a lab over the last couple of years. In addition, we've been able to acquire a new technology. We were first academic center in Boston to have one of these highly multiplex imaging systems. And so our group has been kind of pioneering that in that space. As well as our opportunity to bring together a large number of investigators. And again, with many of my colleagues here at BU, as well as others across the country that have been focused in the lung cancer space, as well as many folks leading various technology development between folks at Stanford, as well as many of our colleagues across town. And so if you go to the last slide. And so really this is not only to thank my group and folks here at BU, again, namely Avi Spira, who's really led our group and enabled these opportunities, but certainly my colleagues, Jen, Josh, and Mark, who are my partners in this space. They could all be up here talking about this. But of course, I really have to thank our legal team, because without them, we'd be nowhere with these groups. As you can see, there's many names on this slide and collaborators that are working together within these programs. And so it's certainly been a lot of opportunity. Thanks.